Annual budget, the most important day in February for chartered accountants and economists, क्योंकि वैलेंटाइंस डे पे उन्होंने घंटा उखाड़ा है.
Welcome to Boredroom Comedy's Budget 2019.
I am Himika Ganguly, your financial analyst.
And I'm Vikram Podar, your stand-up comedian. Of course, sometimes you can't tell the difference between the two of us.
I can't tell the difference between you and Kamal Arkan.
Hey, even I can't tell the difference between you and... Actually, I don't even know any financial analyst.
I thought as much. Anyway, so this is the interim budget. Basically, an interim budget arrives just before the elections, which means you cannot introduce any new policies or reforms in it because it might just lure new vote banks.
Which makes a lot of sense, otherwise our interim budgets would probably look like this.
Madam Speaker, I propose free unlimited data for everybody to stream Man Ki Baat 24/7 Chai Pe Charcha with Modi. Madam Speaker, I propose free Netflix subscription for everybody. But censored, huh? Madam Speaker, why are you not speaking? Madam Speaker, I propose. Will you be my Valentine? Madam Speaker, I propose free entry to all women in Sabarimala temple. All hot girls, put your hands up and say, Om. Beta pehle prasad lo.
Since it is an interim budget, not many highlights in this one.
So it's a lot like KL Rahul's test curry.
Now this interim budget is going to be ratified by a new government in the month of July, which means that any policies or reforms introduced in this budget might not be delivered.
मतलब ये budget है या Zomato का delivery boy?
This interim budget was introduced by Mr. Piyush Goyal as Mr. Arun Jaitley fell sick.
How's the fever?
Hi sir. We wish Mr. Arun Jaitley a very speedy recovery and hope that he returns back to serve the nation as FM. By the way, Mr. Piyush Goyal happens to be the first chartered accountant of this country to present the budget.
He also happens to be the first Piyush to present the budget. Wait, does that make him the accidental finance minister?
Talk about sequels.
It's quite an interesting profile for a chartered accountant.
So basically he went from from tax planning to tax management.
Naturally, there were no changes in the provisions for taxation because Piyush did not want to tax CA students by making them learn new stuff. CPT का, IPCC का, final का सबका बदला लेगा रे तेरा Piyush.
In this budget, quoting Mr. Piyush Goyal, we are realizing a new India by 2022, which is going to be free from corruption, communalism, casteism, terrorism, and nepotism.
And if this government managed to last for another term, then free from journalism and optimism.
By the way, let me tell you the most important highlight of this new budget. The Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, the PM Kisan Yojana, which is going to give all the farmers of this country a sum of, every year mind you, 6,000 rupees.
चलो, इसमें कम से कम farmers का Netflix subscription तो आ जाएगा. Now they can stream documentaries about their own life and watch their tears in HD.
So from job seekers becoming job creators.
And chai walas becoming PM.
India has become the world's second largest startup hub.
I think it's true. Because last week my neighbor Dinku was unemployed and this week he became a CEO of Dinku Vada Pav. Of course, one also has to consider this guy's unemployment, also known as social media influencers.
However, we must now talk about the one community that has been ignored by everybody. Everybody except stand-up comedians. The middle class.
Look, I think in India, everybody wants to be middle class. I think this is the exact reason why Ambani bought PVR. I'm sure the middle class आदमी ने went something like, यार आजकल movie tickets कितने महंगे हो गए. ऐसा करते हैं ना, पूरा theater खरीद लेते.
So the PM this time announced a rebate for all the people with an income of up to 5 lakhs, which sparked a lot of controversy and debate.
मतलब है कुछ और दिखाया कुछ और. ये rebate है या debate? पता करो दया.
पहले लगा कि टैक्स स्लैब बढ़ा दिया, फिर पता चला कि रिबेट बढ़ा दिया। उसके बाद पता चलता है that only people with an income of below 5 lakhs will get a benefit from it, which means that if your income is anything above 5 lakhs, then you pay what you paid last year.
Classic real estate way to scam the middle class. Built up area का सपना दिखा के carpet area बेच दिया.
No more tax on the notional rent on a second self-occupied house anymore.
What does that mean?
That means that if you have a second house that you were not renting, the government would still tax you on the basis of the notional rent. Basically, we were paying a tax on an income that we never made.
Which is a lot like paying entertainment tax on the movie Zero. अरे जब entertainment ही नहीं हो मैं tax क्या चीज का भर रहा हूँ?
Okay, now no jokes on Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, make them on Salman Khan. If you have to nothing on Shah Rukh Khan.
Relax. Okay, this is the budget. It's not film fair, alright? That's it from us in this edition of the budget. We'll be back in July with a review of the final budget if the government will let us.
Till then, all the very best and keep paying those taxes.